Hello, Scouts and Scouters. This is Steve Porter, Camp Director here, and I wanted to make a video detailing some new information for our troops and packs and all other units that typically rent facilities out at Pioneer Scout Reservation. So recently, in the last year or so, we went to an online reservation system for our facilities where you can log on and view your reservation and pay your bill and see availability. And now we are finally ready to open that up to allow you to actually make reservations online as well. So this is available right now to troops only, or I should say not just troops, but all BSA units. So troops, packs, crews, private individuals that rent buildings for their groups, for private use at camp still need to call or email to make that reservation. But if you're a local unit, either in or out of council, you can use your account that's already created or create a new account if you don't have one already. And you can reserve facilities online for our cabins. And campsites for the weekend use. So I wanted to go over that real quick just to show you how it's done. In case you had any questions. So first things first, I've navigated to psrweb.org, which is our website, and I'm going to log in. I'm going to use my Troop One account, which is a unit account, made up one, so that way you can see that view. And as we log in, this is the screen that you come to every single time. As you can see, I don't have any events right now, but what we want to look at is trips, because that's what we're doing, is reserving a trip with facilities. So I click here and I don't have any reservations. If I did, they would show up right here, but for right now I don't have any. So I'm going to go to facilities, or I can click the facilities button here. It goes to the same place. And as you can see, we have two facilities that you can reserve on. So if you've been using this for Camp Miaconda, which has had online reservations for the last couple of years, now you can use it for Pioneer Scout Reservation as well. So you're going to click on Pioneer Scout Reservation, and that's going to open up the portal to make reservations and also check dates. So you have two options when you come in here. You can click New Trip to start the trip right away, or if you just wanted to check dates of buildings and campsites, you could see what was available by clicking this button. Again, if you had trips already reserved, they would show up here. And then if you've ever reserved in the past and you click the past button, that's where your past trips would show up as well, but I don't have any right now. So if I hit check dates or even just scroll down, but that's going to take me down to where that was, same spot, you can see that we have two bars at the top, PSR cabins, which is the one we were looking at, and PSR campsites, which is right here. Green means that it's open, and if it's grayed out, that means that it is already reserved. And you can toggle the months up here, so we can look between different months, and it looks a couple months out. So if we wanted to go further out, we could see stuff in that way. Same with the cabins. If you wanted to see a different type of view, you could look at it like this, and you could see it with the month up here, and then see that it's grayed out here. So for example, cabin 1 has already been rented for the weekend of the 6th through the 8th. Half bar means that it's rented that evening, so check-in would be that evening, and then they're rented all day Saturday, and then they would be out before check-in the next day. So if somebody was actually running during the week, they could come in on Sunday evening. So that would be a weekend right there. So you can see that that one's not available, but it looks like cabin 2 would be available if you were looking for that weekend in March. Quick note on the reservations. When you're setting stuff up, you can reserve up to a week out before the date. So if you're within a week of the date that you want, so for example, if I was trying to find the weekend of the 6th through the 8th and it was March 4th, I would not be able to reserve that. I would have to be a week past that in order to reserve it, 7 days. And then also keep in mind that you can reserve up to 6 months out. So if you were trying to make a reservation that was past 6 months from today's date, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to make it within the 6-month period. So you can reserve up to 6 months out. We do allow reservations up to a year in advance, but the online portal is going to be up to 6 months. If you want to do a year in advance reservation, you can still make those. You just have to give us a call or send us an email, and we can take care of that for you. And the contact information is right here if you need that. So we've checked through the dates and we've looked at those. As we're looking at dates, if we go back to this view right here, we can also click on different buildings. So you can see they're all listed here: cabin 1, 2, 3, and 4, handicrafts, health lodge, loftus. And if you click on any of the buildings, it brings up the main page for it. And you can check down here and see some more information like the building capacity, as well as the amenities and number of bedrooms. And you can also look at available dates on this page as well. And then if you go up here, you can toggle through various pictures of the buildings if you wanted to see what the buildings look like on the inside. And that's for all the buildings on here. They all have photos, which is also nice to be able to see different photos for the building. There also is a new trip button, so if you decided that you wanted it, you could click this and it would make a new trip. Or if you click the back button up here, it takes us back to the main screen and we can click new trip here as well. So we decided we wanted to make a reservation, and what we're going to do is we're just going to call it Weekend Campout. We're going to name it, but you can name it whatever you'd like. And then we're going to select the date that we'd like to go. So like I said, for example, today is the 19th. So if I tried, just out of curiosity, to do it on the 20th through the 22nd, this weekend, and I added, let's say I was going to bring about 15 youth and 3 adults. Doesn't really matter too much on that because it's the same price no matter what. There's no price per person, it's just per day. I put my contact info in here, or if I want to, I can just click this button and it'll copy it from my profile right away. I can also put in an alternative contact if I wanted to do that as well, but it's not required. But let's just try this. So we're going to try and hit continue, and it's going to tell us, nope, you need to extend it 7 days from today's date. So that one's not going to work. If I wanted to check those dates or get something that quickly, they'd have to call or email us. So we're going to go a little bit further out into January. Actually, let's try for March. So we're going to look at March 13th through March 15th, that weekend right there. And then we're going to hit continue, and it's going to set up the trip for us. So now we have it all set up, but now we still need to add a reservation. So we need to pick the building that we want to rent. So we're going to hit add reservation, and we're going to scroll down, and we're looking here, and it looks like cabin 1 is not available. It's booked for that weekend. So is cabin 2. 3 is available though. 4 is available. Handicrafts is not. The Health Lodge is available, and Loftus is rented. It's already taken. But I don't necessarily need a super large building. I'm going to go for cabin number 3. And I'm going to see here, it's showing me the date, per day price, $72 per day. So it'd be double that for a weekend because that's 2 nights. But it does have a maximum capacity of 12, and my troop's a little bit too big for this one. But I'm just going to lower this to 12 people for this building specifically, just so it lets me go on past this. It won't let me continue. It'll say the maximum capacity has been exceeded, but I know that I'm going to change that later, so I'm just going to go down and lower those for right now since I decided on the smaller building. And I'm going to hit next, and then every single building you add is going to be a $50 deposit, payable right now online. You can also pay the full amount, but the deposit is something that you pay just to get the reservation in place, and then you can always pay your remaining balance at camp if you want to, or online right before. Keep in mind that the deposit, you can get that back if you cancel a reservation in up to 3 weeks before the reservation, but if it's within the 3-week period of the reservation, that deposit's not something that can be returned. So that would be a loss of deposit within 3 weeks. But if you cancel after that, you'd be able to do it that way. So I'm just gonna pay the $50 right now, and I'm gonna hit complete. So right now I've got this big red bar. It says there's changes in my cart and I need to check out if I want to do it. So we have not made the reservation yet. We still would have to check out. So we go up to our cart or hit the checkout button here. And we're verifying our profile. Everything looks good. Yep. And we'll scroll down to the bottom, and then that's where we can put our payment information in, and we can pay via credit card online. So you'd go through this process and do a payment. It'll send you an email receipt, and then it'll show up on your screen and look great. I am going to actually hop on another computer really fast right now, and I'm going to actually force this payment through since I'm not planning on putting a credit card in just for this demonstration. And 1 second here, because I just want to show you what it looks like on the other end. All right, so I just forced that payment through. So now, if we go back to our home screen, we can see that we have one trip right here. And the trip is still owing $144, which is the total for the cabin. When I forced that payment through, I just made the reservation without actually paying the $50. So you still actually owe the total amount. You can see there's no applied payments, but when you pay your deposit, it'll show $50 here, and then it'll show the difference on what you still owe. But as you can see, we've made the reservation. It's showing up under our trips. It's showing up under our current trips here, and we can click on it, and if we scroll down, you can see cabin number 3 is showing up here as being rented. So we've got the reservation, it's all set, and we're good to go. Let's say that you did want to cancel the reservation or add a reservation. So if maybe you wanted to add a second cabin, you could do that. You could go to add reservation and then just add it the same way for whatever's open, the way we did add the first cabin. But let's say that nobody wants to come anymore and we do want to cancel it. The first thing you have to do is you have to cancel the actual reservation of the building. So you would click on the building and you'd scroll down and you go to manage, and then you can hit cancel reservation. And then we're going to confirm that. And now, in order to get that building off our list fully, we have to go through and process our cart. And if you were in the refund period and you paid your $50, this is where it would refund your account $50 back onto your Tentaroo account. But we didn't pay anything for it. We're just canceling it, so it'll be a wash. So all we do is hit place order after we go to the cart. The receipt's been emailed to us. Okay, thank you. We're going to close that. And then my trip's still here. But when I click on it, now I don't have any reservations because I canceled that building. And then if I want to, I can go to manage trip and I can delete it. Now, if you just go to manage trip and delete, it won't let you do that until you get rid of all the buildings first. So you have to get rid of the buildings first. But I'm done now, and I'm going to delete the trip, and now it's gone. So that's pretty much how you do it, how you add a trip and how you delete a trip. And then I think that's pretty much everything as far as the reservations of facilities. Like I said, pictures are on here. Campsites are also here, so if you wanted to rent a campsite for a weekend, that would be on here as well. And you could rent it the exact same way that you rent a cabin. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email me. Email address is right here when you log in, or I'll put it up on the screen too afterward, which is the camp director at psrweb.org. And again, if you have any questions at all about the reservation process at camp, let us know. A couple things to note once more: this is for units only, so private individuals or private organizations still need to call or email for a reservation. But units are able to reserve. If you're having trouble reserving and it's not giving you that permission, email me and I can get that switched or changed for you. But I believe all of our unit accounts right now allow reservations online. But if it's not, we can get that fixed for you if you just email us and let us know. Other than that, we hope you enjoy, and we hope that you appreciate this new facility update, so that way you can start making reservations and maybe do it a little quicker when our offices are closed as well, because you can make it at any time during the day, even at a troop meeting at night if you're making those plans, which may be helpful for your unit. Other than that, thanks so much. I'll put my email up at the end, and hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.